In the year 2045, humanity had expanded its reach beyond Earth, establishing colonies on Mars and mining operations on the Moon. The International Space Exploration Agency, ICEA, was at the forefront of these endeavors, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and technology. However, despite the advancements, one mystery remained unsolved. The disappearance of the Canis-1, a spacecraft sent to explore the outer reaches of the solar system, which had vanished without a trace 5 years earlier. The story begins with Dr. Elena Vasquez, a brilliant astrophysicist and lead scientist at ICEA, receiving a cryptic transmission from deep space. The signal, encoded in a series of binary pulses, is unlike anything ever recorded. As Elena deciphers the message, she discovers it contains coordinates pointing to a distant region of space near Pluto. But what shocks her most is the final line of the transmission: "Bring the dogs." Elena is baffled. Why dogs? The message is relayed to ICEA's director, General Marcus Hale, who immediately recognizes the significance. The Canis-1 mission had been unique. It was the first to send a crew of genetically enhanced dogs into space, designed to withstand the rigors of long-term space travel. The dogs, equipped with advanced AI implants, were meant to assist the human crew in their mission. But when the Canis-1 disappeared, all contact was lost, and the mission was deemed a failure. General Hale greenlights a new mission, Canis-2, to investigate the source of the transmission. The crew consists of Elena, Commander Jack Ryder, a seasoned astronaut, and Dr. Priya Mehta, a biologist specializing in genetically enhanced animals. Along with them are 2 new genetically enhanced dogs, Max, a German shepherd with heightened senses, and Luna, a border collie with unparalleled problem-solving skills. The Canis-2 spacecraft launches from Earth, its destination set for the coordinates provided in the mysterious transmission. As the crew settles into their journey, strange occurrences begin to unfold. The dogs, Max and Luna, exhibit unusual behavior, often staring into the void of space as if sensing something the humans cannot. Elena notices that the AI implants in the dogs are picking up faint signals, but they are too weak to decipher. Weeks into the mission, the crew encounters a derelict space station orbiting a distant asteroid. The station's design matches that of the Canis-1, but it appears abandoned and heavily damaged. Against General Hale's orders, Commander Ryder decides to investigate. The crew docks with the station, and as they step inside, they are met with an eerie silence. The station is a labyrinth of dark corridors and flickering lights. The crew splits up to cover more ground, with Elena and Max exploring one section, while Jack and Luna take another. Dr. Mehta stays behind to monitor the station's systems. As Elena delves deeper, she discovers a series of logs left by the Canis-1 crew. The logs reveal that the mission had encountered an unknown entity, a form of energy that seemed to communicate through the dogs. The energy had driven the human crew mad, forcing them to abandon the station. But the dogs had remained, seemingly unaffected. Suddenly, Max begins to growl, his eyes fixed on a shadowy figure at the end of the corridor. Elena's heart races as the figure steps into the light. It's one of the original Canis-1 dogs, a Siberian husky named Shadow. But something is wrong. Shadow's eyes glow with an unnatural light, and his movements are jerky, as if controlled by an external force. Elena contacts Jack and Priya, warning them of the danger. But before she can elaborate, the station's systems come alive, sealing off sections and trapping the crew. Jack and Luna find themselves in a room filled with strange, pulsating crystals. Luna begins to bark frantically, her AI implant picking up a surge of energy. Jack realizes the crystals are not just minerals, they are conduits for the entity that the Canis 1 crew had encountered. Meanwhile, Elena and Max are pursued by Shadow, who seems intent on capturing them. Elena manages to lock herself in a control room, where she discovers a holographic message from the Canis 1's lead scientist, Dr. Samuel Carter. The message reveals the truth. The entity is an ancient, sentient energy form that thrives on fear and chaos. It had used the dogs as vessels to communicate, but the human crew's inability to understand had driven them to madness. Dr. Carter had sacrificed himself to contain the entity within the station, but the transmission sent to Earth was a desperate plea for help. As Elena processes this information, Max suddenly barks, alerting her to a new threat. The entity has taken control of the station's systems, and the walls begin to close in. Elena realizes that the only way to stop the entity is to destroy the station, but doing so would mean sacrificing themselves. Elena contacts Jack and Priya, explaining the situation. They agree that destroying the station is the only option. Using the station's self-destruct mechanism, they set a timer for 10 minutes. But as they make their way back to the Canis 2, they are confronted by the entity, which has fully manifested through Shadow and the other Canis 1 dogs. A tense battle ensues, with Max and Luna using their enhanced abilities to protect the crew. Jack is injured, but Priya manages to stabilize him. As the timer counts down, the entity begins to manipulate the station's gravity, making escape nearly impossible. In a final act of bravery, Max and Luna distract the entity, allowing the crew to reach the spacecraft. As the Canis 2 detaches from the station, the crew watches in horror as the entity attempts to latch onto their ship. But Max and Luna, still on the station, activate a fail-safe mechanism that creates a powerful electromagnetic pulse, disrupting the entity's energy form. The station explodes in a blinding flash of light, taking the entity with it. The crew returns to Earth, hailed as heroes. But the loss of Max and Luna weighs heavily on them. Elena, however, discovers something extraordinary. The AI implants in the dogs had recorded the entity's energy patterns. Using this data, she begins to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos, opening new doors for humanity's understanding of the universe. In the final scene, Elena visits a memorial erected for Max and Luna. As she stands there, she receives a faint signal on her device, a series of binary pulses. The message reads, "Thank you." Elena smiles, knowing that the dogs of the cosmos had not only saved humanity, but had also bridged the gap between worlds. The story ends with humanity embarking on a new era of space exploration, guided by the lessons learned from the Canis missions. The dogs, once mere companions, had become symbols of courage and discovery, proving that even in the vastness of space, the bond between humans and animals could transcend the unknown.